talk about finishing this plant, okay? And really, this is just this harmonious, I call it toning, okay? It's the interaction of your water management, your nutrition, and your PGR to get a nice, strong plant, well branched, but not flimsy and floppy. We want it to hold up if we have to do any shipping. We want it to hold up for the consumer to get it to their home. So this is what we're going to do. The water management. Again, that 4-to-2 water, wet to dry strategy is really good. And we can just kind of veer on each side depending if we need the plant larger or smaller. Nutrition. Okay. Impatiens respond tremendously well to nitrogen and a decent amount of phosphorus. So can you restrict phosphorus to restrict growth? You can, but you kind of run the risk of causing a problem later on. I really like to target 5 to 10 parts per million phosphorus in the soil. And then I like to use the nitrogen variability to give me that extra growth if I want. So as I said, 100 parts per million is usually sufficient. If you need them to grow a little bit, hey, a punch of a fertilizer such as 20-10-20 with a decent amount of ammoniacal nitrogen at 150 parts per million, that's going to give you ample growth with an impatient. I have seen some folks go even higher to 250, but you run the risk of elevating your EC too much in that regard. Okay, just to stay similar with the recommendation I had to suggest trialing in young plants, I'm going to stick with bonsai as a plant growth regulator to trial here. But notice what I've done here. We've got a little bit larger plant. We've got more tissue to cover. Okay, I'm going to recommend you step up after transplant stage or after that, 7 to 8 true leaf stage and go a little bit higher rate. The reason I'm choosing to suggest bonsai here is because I've seen growers be able to effectively use this spray without too much delay in flowering that you might see with some of the other ones. A little bit more forgiving than maybe Sumagic, but more active than a B9. So again, I'm kind of just going in the middle of the road here. Think about this though. You can spray 5 parts per million bonsai at a nice light rate over the top, or you can spray it really heavy. That's 2 big differences in the amount of active ingredient you've actually got on the plant. So really tune in your plant growth regulator applications and get that honed in and get it consistent from week to week, crop to crop, so you're able to fine tune your production even better. And I'm going to finish up with something I think is one of the fun parts of growing a crop like Impatiens, and that's plant on schedule. Okay. This is one where you need to work with the product representatives from the breeding companies to really target this in. But, as I showed pictures, we can use this in small pack materials or high density packs. We can use this in large patio containers or combo containers. If we start them too early, the cool temperatures, the low light can really slow the crop down as compared to a crop we start a little bit later in the year. So this is one where I encourage you to do your homework on how many plants are you going to use in the final container? What do you want them to look like? What's your strategy? Do you want to stomp on them on PGR or do you want to have to push them? It really depends on your personal strategy, but it's one that you can have a lot of fun and manipulate and make the crop look just fine.